Hi everyone, welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. And while I head for the couch, maybe a bit of a warning. I am from Belgium and here we have this stuff called daylight savings time. I think it is in English. And that's actually happening this weekend. So we get to sleep 1 hour longer. But that does also mean that most of my uploads and stuff like the EVE Talk will generally come 1 hour later than usual. I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of a warning if by now you've used to the schedule. I usually upload right after I come home and had something to eat. That all of this is going to move 1 hour further. Just because we are on daylight savings time. So if you are not, like in Iceland, for instance, the EVE times are also going to change 1 hour for me, same with the downtime. So it's a bit of a readjustment that'll happen twice every year. But I just thought I'd give you guys a quick heads up. Anyways, we're here for the market. So yesterday I already saw that Plex are doing pretty damn well, but we'll start with Tritanium as always. 479, I think that's up a little bit. Am I wrong? I am wrong, because it was actually around 480. Let's see, so it's actually, well, it tried to create a bottom. I would say maybe 470, 475, something like that. It managed to break 480, but now it's already heading back down. So this is pretty much flat movement for minerals here. Same chart for pyrite. I'm a little bit amazed that it looked like it was going to form a bottom here, but yeah, it's already heading back down. Let's have a quick look here. 11.16 for sell orders for pyrite, which is pretty low. Let's have a look at Mixalon. Luckily this one is slowly going up, at least it's staying above 40 ISK. So that's decently good news, although I bought mine at 40.50 and it's 40.79, so it's actually down a little bit from last week. And the 1 year chart is not the best either, but yeah, I bought at this small peak right here expecting it to keep going up, but pretty much we once again have a flat movement here for Mexalon. Although there is no pullback in the last few weeks, or in the last week, which we did see for Tritanium and pyrite. So let's go for Isogen next. Yeah, again flat. That's really for the high-tech minerals, I would say flat over the last few weeks. So hard to tell which way that's going, to be honest. Zydrine still slowly trending down, broke 600 ISK. Current prices for Zydrine 563. Yeah, pretty low and slowly trending down. Let's see if it's the same for Noxium. Well, that one is trying to flatten out. No sign of an uptrend just yet, but at least the 5-day moving average has moved above the 20-day moving average. So maybe the current price of 660, something like that, might just be the bottom for Noxium. And let's have a look at Megasite here. Flat, still slowly trending down. One bad data point, but I think it's also decently flat here. Current prices 1590 for Megasite. Yeah, pretty much that, 1590 ISK, which is pretty low if you look at it on the 1 year chart. I think, yeah, it's been well above 2000 for the first part, and then I guess this is pretty much the Odyssey where it started its downtrend over here, and now I don't think it's stopping just yet. So yeah, for minerals, for miners, still pretty low. At least the high-tech ones are flat now and no longer diving down. But the high-end ones like Megasite, Zydrine and Noxium, they are still slowly trending down, although Noxium is finally showing the first signs of a bottom as well. Is this the beginning of the turnaround? Maybe if we see a lot more people coming in with EVE Online Odyssey and a lot of manufacturing for the new products and the new deployable items, this might just help demand enough to start a slow uptrend, but I'm not expecting any drastic movements here either. Let's have a look at Tech One chips then. For an impact on this, Drake still flat, current price 42 million. Maelstrom After last week's serious decline, it's working its way back towards 170, and current price is in fact in station or 171 and 172 million for a Maelstrom. So it's already correcting back from the unexpected downward movement from last week, but it could just be where before that it moved sideways around 175, that's going to start moving sideways around 170. Let's have a look at the Omen. Also starting pretty much a flat movement. If you look at the 3-month chart, pretty much flat around 9.5 million ISK, and it's 9.2, 9.3, so it's pretty much in that price range. Let's have a look at the Rock. Also coming back from that serious decline last week, but also whereas the Rock was well above 175 before that, it looks like it might just be moving at I'd say 172. Well, no, here we go. It actually completely corrected back, 174, 175, 179 for rocks. So it's definitely corrected back, and the chart is trailing a little bit. So I would expect Maelstrom actually to correct back towards 175 as well, where you still can get some for 171, 172. So might just be a little bit of money to be made in buy orders for Maelstroms, because I do expect that to correct just like the Rock. And then the Talos, unfortunately, still trending down. Let's see if it broke 64. No, 64.5. But yeah, on the 1-year chart, I do think that you will see, yeah, Talos is at an all-time low. For some reason, the tier 3, so not tech 3, but tier 3 battle cruisers, which are tech 1, they seem to be falling out of grace a little bit, at least the Talos one. So maybe I should have a look. These are usually used in nullsec fleets, at least when they first came out, or for ganks. So let's see, battle cruisers, standard battle cruisers. Let's have a look, for instance, at the Oracle. Pretty low, but this one is moving a bit more normally on a sideways movement. Let's have a look at the Naga here. That one is going down. Whoa, did it break 60 million? Yeah, 58 million for a Naga, pretty damn low as well. So that's not too good. And then the Tornado, a sideways movement here. So I think the Tornado and the Oracle are actually the more used gank ships in HiSec, and that's probably what's keeping them from dropping below 60 million. Whereas the Naga is dropped below, and then the Galente one, the Talos, is heading below 65 million. So both of these are on a downtrend, I guess because they're just not as popular anymore for some reason, which is a bit surprising, because especially at this price you get a lot of firepower for not a lot of ISK. But yeah, tier 3 battle cruisers, it's a trend that I've completely missed, but they've gone down quite seriously as well over the summer. Even though they are used, I think, a lot in 0-0 and especially in ganking. So yeah, that's a bit surprising, but yeah, it is what it is. We definitely had a deflationary summer. So yeah, that's it for the Tech 1 ship. I'd say battleships, after the decline from, oh god damn it, they're working outside. After the decline from last week, they're all pulling back. The Drake is trying to hold on, so sideways movement at 42 million. Same with the Omen, and then the tier 3 battle cruisers, for some reason they are going down. Let's have a look at Tech 2 ships. Absolution, yeah, the Amar command ships, they are on a sideways movement, so I would not invest in Absolutions at the moment. The Astarte here is at a nice low point. It is starting to pull the 20-day moving average down, so this current price here is at around 255, something like that. Yeah, 252 and 240 for buy orders, not a lot of sell orders. So that's also 12 million, well, maybe a little bit low actually, but I think if you can buy some close to 240, you're making a good deal, and you might just see a selling opportunity closer to 260 later on when they pick back up. So yeah, I think the Astarte decently interesting for trade money. Claymore too flat in my opinion. Let's have a look at the Damnation here. interesting how that one has pulled back for a little bit here and is now already coming back. So this is like a bit of a mini spike, maybe 15 million worth. Yeah, I think it's just too dangerous if you look at the rest of the chart. Except for the Odyssey spike and then a few small spikes here, they're just not big enough really to sink any trade money in at the moment. These spikes were a lot better right here, this one, and this one. We're talking almost 50 million, something like 30 to 40 million here. That's a lot better. This is just too small to invest any trade money. EOS, very interesting how that one is going back up quite a lot. I suspect this is the Stratios nerf talking. So the Stratios actually went from being able to use 5 heavy drones to only 4, which is a significant nerf, 25% drone damage. And I guess that means that anything else that can use 5 heavy drones is going to go back up. So the EOS heading for 320 on a more sustainable level. Yep, 320 to 344 for sell orders, 305 for buy orders. So you're not going to pick up any EOSs below 300 million anymore. And I think that's pretty much normal for what it can do, fielding 5 heavy drones. Some spikes, but I'd say it's dangerous to invest in the EOS at the moment. If you really want one, try to pick one up on a buy order. But I don't think at these prices I want to invest a lot in EOSs. The Guardian, pretty low after 2 decent spikes of around 15 million. So this could be worth a look for some investment at the moment. You know, if this starts picking back up and heading towards 150, you're looking at buy orders of 123, 124, something like that. Sell orders 131, but I think there's a potential if you can pick some up at buy orders. Let's have a look at the Nighthawk, but I think that one is once again, it comes from a spike. It's just a bit too small to my liking, so it could be some buy opportunity here, but personally I wouldn't risk it. Slipneria is still way too flat, and then the Vulture on a serious downtrend. So unless you fly Vultures yourself and you want to pick some up at around 200 million, or maybe just below 200 million, you could go for it, but not for any trade opportunities in my opinion. So at this point normally I go for Tech3 stuff, but I'll interject with what I just said, the Stratios nerf, which is actually going to be pretty interesting, I feel, for the Ishtar. So let's go for the Hax Galente, nope, heavy assault cruiser, Galente Ishtar. Aha, it's already pulling back, look at that. So it was trending down quite a lot. This is, I'm pretty sure that this is the Stratios that was divulged. Basically it was a better ship than the Ishtar in every single way, so price went way down. And right over here we have the announcement that the Ishtar will no longer field 5 heavy drones, so that's still Ishtar niche, and the price is picking back up. So it went below 170 and current price already back up towards 180, and buy orders already went back up towards 170 as well. In fact, you have some pretty low buy orders at 160. Yeah, new business has come in because the Ishtar, I still think it'll have its place even in high-sec exploration and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to trend back up in my opinion. And then another interesting stuff could be the Sisters of Eve. Let's do a quick search on that. Core probe launcher, let's see. Yep, here we go. This was exactly what I was expecting. A lot of people have been grinding loyalty points from the Sisters, expecting to get huge payouts for the Stratios and the SOE frigate, which was driving up the price of all the Sisters of Eve goodies, faction stuff that you could get from the loyalty points, because people were basically hoarding them. Upon learning that the Stratios was not going to be the super awesome, replace almost any cruiser, faction cruiser, prices are going back down because some people are just opting out of going after the Stratios for big money, and so they're investing some of their loyalty points back into core probe launchers, expanded core probe launcher, maybe a little bit less movement here because I suspect this is just a smaller market. but I think, yeah, right here, combat scanner probe, you can definitely see the breaking of that uptrend as well, and then the core scanner probe as well, with the 5-day moving average back below 550k. So yeah, especially on the core probe launcher, the impact is pretty visible, and I think this gives it's a good indication that this Stratios will not be out of reach right away. In fact, I think a lot of people will still bring it to the market, but demand might just be a little bit lower than what it looked like at first, and so it might just be a reasonable price in the end because of this nerf to its ability to field heavy drones, only 4 instead of 5, which I think is not out of line. You know, it would just start replacing too many ships. In wormhole space, it would replace Deadtree ships. In high-sec exploration, it would replace all Ishtars, and even in nullsec, it would replace Ishtars and some covered up ships and stuff like that as well. It was a little bit ridiculous, and so with this nerf, it's actually a lot better, I think. And yeah, it has its impact on the sister loyalty point front, bringing a lot of them down a little bit. So very interesting stuff. Look at Deadtree. Let's have a look at melted nanoribbons. Not the big upswing I was hoping for. So definitely this spike here was a selling opportunity. Although 20-day moving average is moving back up as well. So we're still looking at 4.8. Yeah, pretty much 4.8 for melted nanoribbons, which is close to a 10% margin on what I bought them for. Not too bad, but I am going to hold out for a better selling opportunity. But this spike was just a little bit premature, but it might just happen later on, because if you look at this, these data points are still close to 4.6, but we're already back above 4.8. So there's a bit of competition with people unloading their stocks already. Personally, I think it's a little bit early, and we will see prices above 5 million at some point in the reasonably near future. Proteus, yeah, still trending down. That's kind of bad. Below 150 even for Proteus now. Tengu, yeah, still trending down, but people don't really want to sell them below 160. Yeah, just above 160 for sell orders. Loki, yeah, still trending down, probably not below 150, but 153 for a Loki. And then the Legion, that's really bad, starting to head towards 155, yeah, 158, 159 for a Legion. So definitely all-time low prices for Deadtree ships. If you'd like to fly some, or if you have some wormhole business you want to do, I think this is the time to buy them. And we'll have to wait for an announcement of changes to Deadtree ships, which is not going to be the next expansion. So at least for the next expansion, I don't expect any serious movements in this. But yeah, really low for Deadtrees at the moment. And like I said, unless CCP decides that they want to do something about them, give them something new, something extra, it's not going to change anytime soon. So very low prices for Deadtree ships at the moment. Let's see, I'll have a quick look at the fuels here, but I expect for a sideways movement. Yeah, sideways for Amar. Caldari up towards 17k. Something going on here, maybe. Yeah, 17k. It's pretty much that same spike here. Again, which corrected a week after, and now we're back up to 17k. Is this going to correct again? Personally, I suspect that either goons are doing something or someone is manipulating this market, but there is no real indication that this is a sustained thing. So this is some manipulation going on, and I do suspect that this will correct in the next few weeks. Galente's flat, and Minmatar fuel blocks also had a big spike here, but pretty much flat again around 14k. That's correct, around 14k. So generally fuels, you know, unless you know about the manipulation that's happening, for instance here in the Caldari at the moment, and in the Minmatar, this spike that happened here, you're looking at flat prices, and it's not really anything too drastic. This is basically some active manipulation going on in the market from time to time. The Amar one had this one a little bit earlier. which is decently interesting, but only if you're in the know of who is doing it and when they'll be doing it. Then you could make some money. But if, like me, you're looking at this from the outside, there's hardly any chance for you to make any money. Because right now, for instance, in the Caldari ones, it's already too late, you know, prices are at 17k, so are the buy orders, so you'd be forced to buy very high, and it's super risky. The chance that you can still make some money when it was below 16k is extremely low. The sell orders right here above 17k, all of that has already passed, that money has been made, and it's basically too late by the time we notice it. R64 stuff, let's see. Dysprosium, which has been going up quite a lot, is finally reaching a top at around 47k, which is pretty damn high. Neodymium, which went up, I think it's because of the siphon announcement, is also stopping that uptrend. Same here with Promethium, starting to flatten out here. So I guess people that do mine stuff are happy with the new higher prices that they managed to get out of people after the announcement for the siphon units. And right now it's looking like it will start to move sideways a little bit, no longer up. So all of them have really had a big upswing here. But right now it looks like it's no longer going up too much, so I guess that the null-sec alliances that do moon mine are happy with these prices and are starting to dump some of their reserves for some nice ISK. Yep, someone asked me for something, I think it's the polymer market or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't know too much about that, so let's quickly do a search for polymers. Manufacturing and resources. I'll have a quick look at this. Yeah, polymers. Whoa, seriously going up. This is also moon materials, carbon polymers. Terrible charts. Maybe on a 1 month, 3 month chart, or on a 1 month chart. I'll have a better look. Carbon polymers pretty much sideways, and conductive polymers also pretty much sideways. But this carbon polymer stuff, which is also from moon materials, is moving up along with the R64 stuff. I'm not sure who asked for this anymore, and if this is what you meant by the polymer market, these are the hybrid polymer silos and polymer reactor arrays, which are for soft structures and stuff like that. Up a little bit, but nothing too drastic, so I do suspect it's the carbon polymers you wanted me to take a look at, going up from 1000 to 2500 ISK, which is really quite a lot. This is going to be total speculation on my side, but I suspect there's a lot of process around moons that create this stuff like carbon polymers, and that people are expecting that there's so many of them that the siphon unit might actually have a real impact on this product. I would suspect this to be quite ubiquitous, spread out, and so very difficult to defend, and that this could be a reason why the polymers are moving up so much. Yeah, this is basically, I'd say, timed well for the siphon unit announcement. So that could just be a reason. If I'm wrong, and if you guys have other ideas about this polymer market, feel free to post it in the comments. I'd love to know more about it, what it's used for, and yeah, I suspect it's a moon mineral from the description right here. But yeah, if you have more information, feel free to put that in the comments. Might just be interesting to some of the viewers that have requested it. And then finally, we'll go for the Plex. Look at that beautiful spike towards 620. It's almost like someone was expecting this to happen. But yeah, I did think this would happen. Current Plexes 626. They were 630 yesterday, 614 for buy orders. So the margin is back on a healthier place. But yeah, the spike towards 620, which I thought would happen, judging by the previous spikes and the price points where stuff found their bottoms in April right here, it happened pretty much the way I had suspected it to. And right now, of course, is this the end of the big spike? Potentially. We are getting really close to Eve Rubicon, where I suspect that Plexus might just start moving sideways around 600, 590, something like that. So it will correct a little bit, but I do suspect that it might move sideways again in this price band you see right here, 580 to 600, so close to that. But finally it materialized, so I sold a little bit early. I'm still happy with the profit that I made, but the second spike did materialize, and we are seeing these prices above 620, which I thought would happen. And in fact yesterday they were as high as 630, which is very interesting. I think this does mean that there's a lot of interest and activity coming back to EVE Online. A lot of people are excited about EVE Online Rubicon, I think, and it's going to be very interesting depending, I'd say, on how high Plex can maintain itself throughout Rubicon. It's an indication of how successful the expansion is, so I think it's a very interesting market to keep an eye out for. If you followed EVE Talk, you've probably unloaded the ones you wanted for profit a little bit too early, so you could probably have sold them at the 615 margin mark, which I aimed for at first, but I ended up caving. It came a little bit too late. I sold around 600. You could have probably gotten rid of them at 615, making a little bit more profit on that. So that was a bad call, although in the end it turns out that my call for 620 was the correct one, and the second spike, it did materialize pretty damn high. Look at that. A clear indication of even a 20-day moving average breaking 600, 5-day moving average breaking 620, and I suspect at this point it's going to start to go back down a little bit to a more normal price of 590, 600, something like that. But it will probably, if Rubicon is successful, remain around that price for at least a little bit until I think we might have some winter wars, stuff like that. You know, all of this could definitely keep interest very high, activity very high, and Plexus at around its 600 price point. And then after that, after the holidays, when a lot of people can play a lot, we'll probably start seeing it taper off again towards this March-April bottom, which we've seen again last year. So at the moment, yes, sell your Plex if you still have them and you want some profits. I think it's the right time to do so. But after this, basically Plex is going to be my barometer for success and activity in EVE Online. And then once again we come towards March and we see Plexus heading towards 520 again, I'll be looking to make another investment like I did last year. Yeah, anyways, that's it for this EVE Talk, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.